This is a clouds weather alert.
Meteorologist Casey Cloud back here in Northern Center at 5:50 on this Thursday. Unfortunately, not done now with severe weather coverage. We have a storm there in northwestern Clay County that's really been intensifying on us over the last little bit, showing signs of maybe some larger hail here, especially moving in toward highly populated areas here as we get toward the west side of Jacksonville. So that's what we're back on. I know I've been losing my voice a little bit as we're trying to keep everybody safe and informed here, but right now we have a dangerous situation potentially developing here in toward northwestern Clay County. So let's go ahead. Again, you can see there some of that purple showing up indicative of some hail here. And we'll go ahead and put our hail tracker on this in just a second. You'll kind of be able to see what we're monitoring with this here in our Doppler radar scans. So I do want to say, I know that area toward Laurie, kind of a false echo, I think, but this other area here really develops to hail over an inch, maybe over an inch and a half very quickly. Just really rapidly developing here. It's a pretty rural area in this part of Clay County. Again, ignore the Bradford stuff, Roy. That's not really, really seeing that. But this could be moving toward populated areas here in Duval County over the next little bit. So already about to be moving over. It looks like that road there as we go away from Middleburg. I mean, you're talking about County Road 218. Some of this hail potential moving over that right now in toward Clay County. So you got to be cognizant of that potential here as we're looking at things in the Weather Center. So I know some different tornado watch updates just came across, by the way. So let's see what we got with that. It looks like they just canceled the tornado watch for the rest of our region here. So let's go ahead and see what that shows. You can see the yellow there has been removed from our southeastern Georgia counties now. So that's some good news. The yellow to the north, though, and then central Georgia in towards some different areas there covered by the Peachtree City office. But then you see the severe thunderstorm watch. That's technically until 10 o'clock. Some of this stuff here has been kind of evolving. We'll watch it because this developed so rapidly, intensified so rapidly, I should say, as it really got its act together. And just in one or two scans, it went from a storm not with even an advisory on it to a storm that was capable of producing hail to about an inch and a half in diameter. So that's why there's a watch and play. Things can rapidly evolve on us. So you have to stay weather aware here as we're watching things, obviously, in the Weather Center. So again, you're looking just around Hugh right now. Again, tracking this potential for some severe weather. No reports on this as of yet, but we're watching as it gets into toward Duval County here over the next little bit. So again, see some of those purples on the screen. You see some even weak rotation here with this, it would seem. That's kind of a new development here, so got to be paying attention to that. I see a little bit of wind enhancement even in the last couple of scans, so got to be watching this. Source to this is just really just east of, it looks like US Highway 301 here in toward parts of Clay County, just to the east, of course. That's where the road really lies. It didn't go much into Clay County there, so that's kind of the storyline with that. But again, just continuing to watch things here in the Weather Center, trying to give you the latest information to protect you, your friends, and your family here. That's what we're on right now. You can see some of these pinks here, or maybe developing a little more so now on the view here as we look at our current maps here at about 5:53. So again, you can see here a little bit of greens and reds. I mean, this could start to rotate as it gets up toward Baldwin here over the next little bit. So we got to be kind of cognizant of what can go on there in western Duval County, the west side of Jacksonville per se, here over these next 35 minutes or so. This morning lasts until about 6:30, and it looks strong enough right now to maintain that potential. But it'll be interesting to see if we got hail as big as the radar is showing there just for a moment in the more rural spots. I may not have reports out there, but that was in western Clay County. I mean, interesting to see for sure. Let's go ahead right now and go back over. You see our pink area, that severe thunderstorm watch remaining in effect here, and then our severe thunderstorm warning here. We're just looking over to the east from Holland right now, and you can see this pushing up into western Duval County here over the next little bit. So just got to be cognizant, got to be prepared, got to be ready here as we're looking downstream of this, even further outside of this, if this holds together in toward Nassau. But already go ahead and take action if you're around the Cecil Field area there. This warning does include Cecil Field, Maxville, and Baldwin, ping pong ball size hail, and 60-mile-an-hour gusts, both possibilities. So you just got to be taking heed from this, taking shelter from this. You don't want to be caught in a storm that's producing hail there that could be in the damaging ranges, and the winds that could be in the damaging range as well. So let's go ahead and see what we have again. The winds don't look really impressive. I think it's just more for the hail, but winds have shown a little bit of an uptick here recently. Again, a little bit of weak rotation here with this. If it was just for the wind potential, I don't think it would have issued a warning, but the hail numbers just went up dramatically in our system and in their system. It would appear just a intense hail core trying to evolve, and that's how they pulled the trigger really quickly on that severe thunderstorm warning to the office there at the National Weather Service in Jacksonville. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to watch the scans here. Again, the latest scan on this shows the pink showing up on the Doppler radar technology. Now, again, we're watching three areas here right now. Severe thunderstorms in the country, been similar numbers here as we look back a little bit earlier on. One up in Georgia there, and outside the area alone in Tatnall counties, and then one actually in Kansas, believe it or not. But this is the one that we're on for right now in our local area. This is a flash flood warning in proportion to Broward County there in southeastern Florida because of what happened there last night now today. Adding to all that antecedent rainfall, 2+ feet of rain that did fall in toward that area. So again, I'm trying to give you guys the latest. I'm going to check to see if there's new information here. Any questions? I don't see any questions right now, but we'll continue to effort you guys that latest information, both in the form of anything that pops up there or anything that pops up in the chat. I know, just kind of giving all my effort here to keep you guys safe and informed. So again, it's a one-man band, so I can't help my voice here. It just sometimes it'll cut in and out when you've been on a long time. So that's just the nature thing. That's what we have to do. We have to stick with it here and power through because your safety could be in some sort of jeopardy here with the wind potential coming through, hail potential coming through, weak rotation. We need to be on for you guys right now with this rogue storm. So again, looking right now, you can see Hugh. This is looking to the southeast of Hugh right now. Latest scan here showing a little bit of rotation, but again, that wouldn't be enough for a warning ordinarily here. We'll just have to continue to watch this development, this upscale growth process here as this moves up toward Baldwin. You can see right now we're not seeing a lot of it right with the storm itself, so maybe it just kind of peaked and we'll get it to fall back down on us here soon, and then we'll be able to drop this warning before the 6:30 timeline. But we just got a warning continue up to the north, a little bit of Clay in there, and then Duval is still in here as well. We'll look at our vertically integrated liquid. You see some of that. You see our echo tops getting up there for 30,000 feet, it would appear, with this here. And I know one thing that could have been a factor. You see this boundary out toward the west here? Well, that boundary here, definitely an indication here of some of the different dynamics that are going on, maybe affecting this, because you saw how quickly we had some of that black pop up, because this was just a thunderstorm. I mean, I called it strong, kind of. I called it strong, but it wasn't really considered strong by the Weather Service. It wasn't even, I mean, you almost wouldn't even want to call it strong, and then all of a sudden it just went severe in a couple of scans from, I mean, look at this scan here. That's a thunderstorm, maybe a little strong, but nothing too much, and then that's at 5:39, and the next scan, that's a severe storm with the black showing up at 5:42 there, and then there's your warning, and then you see it's kind of gone more back to the purples for the most part here, but it's a rogue storm, and it's able to get that inflow into it and take advantage of the parameters that are left. A lot of surface-based cape, a lot of that energy here still available in this setup. So again, moving toward parts of Duval County here, is this toward the Baldwin area over the next little bit, the west side of Jacksonville per se, starting to get in this. I'm kind of thinking right now it's probably just under severe limits, to be quite honest, but they're going to err on the side of caution right now since it surged up so quickly, and this is moving into an area here in western Duval County that has a little more population to it. I'm talking about 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and in-size hail, both threats here, so I just don't want to be caught off guard here. Do not want to be caught off guard in this type of situation. Let's take a look at correlation coefficient. You can see maybe a little bit of that hail showing up there. We're seeing that more to the south, and that's one of the other reasons they probably issued this. Seeing that hail core further up aloft there. You can see that around areas just east of Laudy there, around North Road. Probably got hailed about an inch in diameter, maybe a little bit larger. That was around 539, 540. And then you see that as I go to the current view here, not as much of that sun up now. So honestly, this is probably just a marginal severe or just a higher and strong storm. But since it had to go one forward here and they had issued the warning, we're kind of sticking with it for the time being, just in case things really ramp up on us again. So you thought maybe we were done with the coverage today, I could rest my voice a little, but no, we have to be on right now to protect you, your friends, and your family, because we have a severe thunderstorm warning in play for portions of Clay and Duval counties here until about 6:30. So you just need to be careful. I know, looking outside right now, we're looking from Starkville back off toward the west, and there's sunshine. I can see it here a little bit in the corner of my eye as I look away from the studio a bit, but I'll go ahead and say the camera on this. It might be kind of, oh yeah, that's really bright, but you kind of get the idea. That's kind of storyline, and a little bit over toward areas toward the north and east here, folks. I mean, you have a severe storm that's capable of producing hail. I mean, just for perspective here. So there's your warning. There's your warning up here, folks. And then we're down here toward this dark area per se. So again, and that's looking the opposite way, but still, get brilliant sunshine here and have a storm like this. That's more like a summertime pattern. Still adding some instability, but we have a lot of dry air mixing in too. So that's kind of the storyline there. That's the storyline there. So let's go ahead and move to some other views here. Again, this is a rogue storm that we're tracking. Let's go over toward the coast here. You can see around Palm Coast. That stuff doesn't look like it's all that organized now. A little bit of something in southeast Putnam. This storm not really so much hail anymore like it was. So they may drop this warning, but again, it's moving in Duval, and it ramped up so quickly earlier. They don't want to be caught off guard, just have a storm to really explode on them right in Duval County. So again, you just never know. I mean, this is a really, really tricky, odd environment you don't generally see around here this time of year. I mean, with that low, we were talking about it earlier in our coverage, and I'll do it again here for new viewers. Look at that. It looks like a tropical storm or hurricane the way it's wrapped around. That's a low pressure, folks, in April, centered around Winona, Mississippi, give or take right now. Some wind damage there, even in Rankin County and Jackson. This is a odd setup. Cooler there, and you see to the east, we have warmer air. We have that warm sector. We have the eastern side, the dirty side of what you would almost see a tropical cyclone, but it's not. It's not a tropical cyclone. It just reminds you of that. It's very odd, very unusual, but we're getting this warning here right now for portions of the area. Some rotation showing up there on Hugh. It doesn't really show up good at all, though, on the actual view here. That's an anomaly around the Hugh area, then, in general, on rotation tracker. But we'll just continue to look here at our different scans. It's moving toward Bryceville. We'll see if they extend the warning here. I mean, honestly, in some ways I'm just sticking with it to see if they drop it. But I think they just want to be really careful because that ramped up so quickly here. You don't want to get caught off guard here. You don't want to get caught off guard here and get something to develop right over Baldwin or something like that. So even though it doesn't look severe right now, it could re-intensify on us here pretty rapidly as the newest scans are trying to come out. It looks like they're running a little behind here on this view. So that could be something that we need to see the latest scans on because they might have intensified and might justification back to this morning. That shows the wind. It's not much there. That's the newest scan on that. But our radar scan, it looks like it's holding back just a little bit here. Just holding back just a little bit, folks. So keep that in mind here as we look here in the coverage. Again, you see there southeast of Hugh, around Highland there. Moving up toward Baldwin, toward Bryceville. We're going to keep tracking it here. Again, I kind of hate to break away almost because if we get this warning drop, I'll probably wrap this stream up here pretty soon. After that happens, since there's not many of the candidates here at the very moment. But again, one scan, things changed there earlier on. It's the overall volatile pattern here, the explosive energy values that we have today. So let's go ahead and see our instability here. That map is right in that corridor here of instability. You see those oranges here over 2,500 joules per kilogram, close to 3,000. We had some over 3,000 earlier here in this orange area here. I mean, kind of telling the story. So a little more room for some storm growth here in that sector per se, in that zone. Looking at some of our different values here. We'll go back down to the south because they still that flood situation in Broward. By the way, severe thunderstorm watch still up to the north of Orlando and Brevard counties until 10, but Broward, flash flood warning, still some heavier downpours, not extreme, but 1 hour rainfall over an inch to an inch and a half, and 12 hour now. I mean, some of this stuff going to about 6. You see some areas close to 2 inches where they don't need it. So, I mean, this could be underdoing it a little bit, you never know, but Again, a flash flood warning continues for parts of Broward County there until about 7:30. So again, normally if I saw a severe storm like this and didn't really have much else, I'd probably just wrap the stream up here in the summertime. But because these storms have just an odd history here of pulsing up, pulsing down so quick, I'm hesitant to do it. I really am, because you just never know what could happen on us here if this kind of ramps down. So for a moment, it'll be ramping back up on you here in pretty short order. Again, this radar scan, we're running a little bit behind right now. Let's see if we have anything else. This is running a little behind as well, but this is up to date. It doesn't so much, to be quite honest. So we'll just continue. It looks like that's from about 5:57, but we'll go to the other view. It's actually maybe a little bit ahead at this point here in the progress, the movement of this. So again, you have the pink behind me. That's a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 officially. Again, the threat is kind of slacked off some, but it's not zero, as you can tell. We have a warning in play right now, and it's a yellow box. So we'll just have to continue to monitor things here in the Weather Center just in case. I know we haven't had too many damage reports in our viewing circle today. That's some good news. We've seen some tornadoes, it seems, touch down just north of our area, though, which has been problematic. We did see a pretty dramatic sight on the traffic camera earlier on, if you were joining me live. That Florida 511 perspective closer to that St. Johns Flagler County line west of Marineland. It seemed like we had a really nasty burst of some wind energy there trying to reach down toward the surface. So kind of interesting to look at that video even. Maybe you want to go back on YouTube or something, Facebook, Twitter options as well, and review that to see exactly what might transpire there. If you can slow it down even. Twitch is another source there as well on the source list. But again, you can see here, this is not all that impressive, but again, it's a situation where this storminess just wants to kind of strengthen on us, weaken on us. You just don't want to be caught without thinking about what's going on here and taking it seriously. So again, I'm checking some different things right now. I'm going to see if I can get a better radar scan pulled up here on this. It's just always kind of interesting to see exactly what's coming up in terms of these radar scans here and monitoring the progress of these storms here. And as we get toward those evening hours, those rush hour time frame conditions still exist here in terms of the traffic on the road. You see some storminess down to the south here, not too impressive. We'll just continue to look here. Again, it could get impressive quick, though. You just never know. But you can see our low pressure off toward the west here. East there, southeast of Greenwood, and then you have, it's like a tropical cyclone, that dirty side here. You have a severe thunderstorm warning in Lauren and Ted in all counties in the Savannah market. They've had a bunch of severe tornado warnings there up that way. But right now, not seeing that. It's a severe thunderstorm warning in play, but still got to take it seriously. Like you still, until this gets dropped here, take this one seriously as well. So again, just continuing to look here at some of our different scans, trying to see exactly what the radar is presenting to us here in the Weather Center. Trying to make sure you guys have the latest information, of course, in terms of our coverage area. We were showing this to you guys earlier if you're watching our other stream, as I tried to hold it together with my voice there, but you can kind of see, I know my voice kind of going in and out here at points because I've been on for so long, but this is our 62 county area. We're always on for any tornado warned storm to move through any one of our 62 counties. We've had a few here, really just right on the edge. I mean, right on the edge of the area off toward the north, even at some touchdowns. It looks like Crisp County. It looks like one there in the Cordova vicinity. A lot of damage being reported there. I'll have to have a survey to kind of officially determine that. But again, just continue along here. Continue to give you guys the latest. So let's go ahead and go back on over right now to some of our different perspectives again. Let's go to that wind energy look at things around Hugh here. You can see winds only about 35 miles an hour showing up right now, so not very impressive. Back over toward our other view here. It looks like it's kind of breaking down on this reflectivity mode as well. Just continuing to see that here. I'll kind of break on down here at this point in the timeline. So again, we're at 6:09 now. The warning technically goes till 6:30. So that's for another 21 minutes here as we're watching this situation. So again, we'll just have to continue to watch things here as they move up toward Baldwin. They move in that direction there. Make sure folks don't get caught off guard to that interchange there, 301 and I-95. They just updated the warning here. They're going to keep it. The hail's not under an inch, but I think there's could still be 60-mile-an-hour winds with this. So that there's still lingering about 6:30, it would appear, but honestly, I'm not seeing a whole bunch of that now. We're not seeing a whole bunch of that, to be quite honest. Again, it could ramp back up real quick here. We'll be watching, we'll be tracking. I'm going to keep the stream going with this warning going. But I'm not very impressed by this storm, so we're going to take a break in the cover till something really ramps up. We'll be on the stream where we can jump right in immediately. But otherwise, if something doesn't ramp up on us, we'll be back about 6:20 with more information as we try to protect you, your friends, your family here on this Thursday. This is not the most impressive storm in the world, but still technically severe according to the Weather Service. So we'll keep on watching it and keep on tracking it here from our North Central Florida studios.
This is a clouds weather alert.
Meteorologist Casey Cloud back into this in about 6:20 on this Thursday, tracking a severe thunderstorm warning for the next few moments, but it looks like a significant weather advisory just been issued here. Roy to kind of replace this as the storminess gets further on off toward the north, and in fact they are now expiring it out here, so it's going to pop off the screen in just a second. So that's some good news here. So we'll keep it here another couple moments, and then we'll go ahead and wrap the stream up, I think. I'm going to stay here for another couple moments just to look at some stuff. So this is a strong storm around Ballroom, but really not severe. Some gusty winds there, but again, not really severe in nature there in western Duval County. Looking there just north of St. George, you can see there getting some wind enhancement, but nothing too nasty. A new advisory will be out here, though, covering some of this stuff here. Even getting toward Charlton. By the way, there's a weak rotation up toward Muskogee County in Georgia, way out of our area, but that's, I believe, toward the Columbus TV market. So we'll kind of be watching that from the national perspective, but just not going to have to stay on for anything like that. But we'll keep monitoring this storm here. A little bit of weak rotation there going into Pierce, but the tornado watch is gone out of our area now. Just to clarify, I know we had some of that still lingering on our screen, but got that cleaned up there. The tornado watch not in our area anymore. It does include Cordell, but they're not in our 62 counties there. And then as we look toward the south and east here, we have some wind enhancement down here around Hastings. I saw a little weak rotation maybe. This could be an area to watch as it kind of goes along the St. Johns River here. But right now not warned, not too close to being warned. You can see Daytona Beach, some nasty weather, but it's not severe. And I know they're saying that stuff up in Muskogee County, Georgia, could be side load contamination. We also have that flooding going on still around Broward County. There around Fort Lauderdale still, adding inside entry, a little more rain being added to that situation there. And then we have a severe thunderstorm watch still in play for portions of our area here. Technically until 10 o'clock. Hopefully it'll get cleared out earlier on, as right now, for the moment, like it was earlier on, we don't have anything too close to becoming severe. It doesn't appear, but we have to stay on our toes here just in case. I know you can see down toward Broward County to that flash flood warning. Still more moisture down there they don't need. And towards southeastern Florida. And we'll just keep watching everything. The tornado watch toward the north. You see the spin. Looks like a tropical cyclone in April, but it's not. It has a lot of similarities, though, but some differences here. Key differences that prevent it from being that. But definitely interesting with all the instability on the east side. Some of those rotational parameters is acts like the dirty side of a tropical system, really, that eastern quadrant, here eastern side. So always kind of interesting to see that here as the situation progresses. We're going to wrap it up for now. If we need to come back on, we will. Keep tuned. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. I know we have YouTube there at Cloud Weather. Also, you can just search there on YouTube, Meteorologist Casey Cloud. Go there, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon as well, and you'll be notified when I come on for a live stream here. But no formal update tonight, as we referred to here, referenced earlier on. So that's some good news in terms of just a situation here, really, where we're not going to have to necessarily overuse my voice per se, for sure. But again, we will come on if we need to. But we've been on for a long time today, on and off. In our area, we haven't had a lot of damage, but we've had issues to the north. I had all those issues with the flooding toward Broward County. We were on last night for that as well. So for now, thanks so much for tuning in and trusting me. All the different sources that you can find me on, I'll say that to you guys in the corner there of the screen. So you guys have that on hand. Again, things you can write down if you're on a different source and maybe you prefer. There's all the different sources. You also have the website there, cloudweather.com. If we need to be back on, we will. But otherwise, have a good evening. Looks like that Gator spring game is going to be all right at this point. Things can always redevelop in this setup out to the west. But right now, things are looking okay. But don't lay your guard down in case something redevelops here. It looks pretty quiet though right now because we have all that drier air there on our water vapor imagery, but stuff could still try to fill in. But right now, looking pretty good. I know it's looking good for that FSU spring game there at spring and those spring activities there as we're looking toward Tallahassee. The spring football activities on Saturday. Warmer temperatures though in play here to some degree. I mean, it's still pretty warm out there right now, but at least it'll be a little bit later on as we're looking toward Alachua County here when that kicks on off. So thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great night. We'll be back again if necessary. But for now, have that great weekend here as well.